Hello everyone. These are the most important NCERTs for history preparation. We have seen many a times, even in 2023 prelims, we have seen that the questions, the level of difficulty of history questions in prelims was very high, right? So much so that it becomes very factual, and there is a limit beyond which there is a limit to which we can remember facts, right? So to make sure that you have very basic knowledge of everything that is given in the syllabus, I think these 3 to 4 NCERTs are enough, because again I have not cleared this exam myself, but I understand the pain of going through history. I have gone through a few books and I have realized in the end that only basic books will suffice in this paper. If you cannot solve a question on history using the basic booklet, then it becomes very difficult for anyone to answer that question, right? So it's in that case, it is better option, it would be a better decision to leave that question altogether. So we will see 4 NCERTs that I think are important, that I have gone through myself, and I also show you how to highlight the important material, important data, important facts, and if in case you need to add certain diagrams, those diagrams are also added in these PDFs. If you want these PDFs, I can share that with you. In fact, in a few days I'll make a detailed video on this. I'll also share these PDFs maybe in the description box of the next video. So for the spectrum, that is the modern history portion. Today we have latest editions of spectrums available in the market. However, there has hardly been any change, right? I mean, what do you expect to change in history? History has been history, so it won't change. So even if you have an old edition of spectrum, it is perfectly fine. So I'll show you the book I have, right? So this is the spectrum PDF that I got. Again, these PDFs are not available. I somehow got them on Telegram. So I got them on Telegram and I started annotating them. I started highlighting this stuff so that I do not have to carry the bulky physical book. So this is the modern India, again not the latest edition, but again latest edition is not even required. So how do you mark take out the important points, and how do you highlight the important points? That I'll show you. That is the purpose of making behind making this video. So again, okay, I'll show you. For instance, the initial 150 pages of spectrum are not really that important. So what I have done, I have mostly skipped these 150 pages because there's hardly any question every year, and I have only revised, I have only learnt and highlighted the summaries of these 150 pages. For instance, these are the summaries that are given at the end of the chapter, and I have only highlighted this. I have only highlighted the summary, right? So only I think reading this summary would suffice, because there's so much data in these 150 pages that it becomes almost next to impossible to remember. And even if you remember, the questions in the prelims will be so difficult that it becomes almost impossible. Again, I'm saying almost impossible to mark the question correctly, right? So I think summaries would suffice. And okay, now we will start with the proper chapters that are expected from a civil services aspirants. You should have a very good hold over these chapters, because every year questions are asked. So we will start with these chapters. Okay, so we have started people's resistance against British. So this is basically the background of 1857 revolt. So again, as you can see, most of the points have been highlighted, right? So only the important, again in these on this page there was so much data that I thought the entire page was important, so I ended up marking the entire page. I ended up highlighting the entire page. Similarly, if I go down this way, okay, now I'll also show you very interesting story. So again, this is a story that has been narrated here. It is about the two groups that were at war. So they were given some name. For instance, Pahariyas was the name of a group, and another group, I think it was Santals. So they were given some names, and to be able to remember those names, what I did, I took some images from the internet and added it here, so that I would be able to associate these images with the group, so that if at all there's any question in the exam, I would be able to mark it correctly. Now this is the advantage of making online notes. So similarly, so I think the purpose of this video has been fulfilled. Okay, so Enfield rifle, right? So again, I can understand from this term rifle that it is a weapon, right? So I do not have to add this diagram. There is no need, but I added the diagram so that the learning becomes more and more engaging. right? I do not get bored because there's so much data, there are thousands of facts. How do you remember that? So you know how to make it engaging, and this is the adding diagrams and adding some flow charts. This is only possible. This is possible only in the good notes, only in the note making, online note making. If you were to add diagrams in the offline copy of the book, then you would have to take a printout and then you'd have to stick it on the pages. Again, that is not really possible, right? And it is time consuming also. It is a waste of time in that sense. So I think this was the purpose of taking you through these PDFs so that you understand how to make online notes. Okay, I'm sorry for this. So right, so similarly I'll take you through the post independence history. So now post independence history, there only 1 or 2 questions are asked. That too, it is not fixed as to they will ask question from this topic or not. Sometimes there has been no question have been asked from this topic for many years. So again, can we skip this? No, we cannot skip it. So what we can do, we can prepare a very basic material. So this is the material I got on internet. These are the notes prepared by, I think, Nitin Sangwan, right? So copyright at Nitin Sangwan. Again, a copyrighted material, I cannot share that with you, but you can always get this PDF on their website and you can use it from there. So here the important points have been highlighted, right? So in post independence history, there are certain facts that can be asked, so those facts have been highlighted, right? So this is how you can use the art of note making to save your time. So this helps us in revision. Similarly, this is the fine arts, right? Fine arts NCERT. And wherever I felt that information, for instance, on Ajivika, there was no elaboration on this topic in this NCERT. So what I did a Google search and I added this data and also highlighted the same, so that it helps in revising in the end. So similarly, we have Tamil Nadu Board NCERT, and this NCERT covers both ancient history as well as medieval history, right? This is a very short, sweet and comprehensive book. Just a second, okay. So this is the book. Okay, so I think you got the idea as to how to add diagrams, how to highlight stuff. Again, now in this PDF you might wonder that why the entire book has been highlighted, because the nature of ancient and medieval history is such that you end up highlighting every fact, because this subject is full of facts only. There are hardly any concepts, right? So this is the unfortunate reality of this subject, and even the questions asked are very difficult. So the best idea would be to prepare from very basic material like this Tamil Nadu Board NCERT, right? So these are hardly 150 pages, right? Not 150, I would say 300 pages, because one page has these 2 little pages. So if you were to take a printout, it would be 300 pages. So again, it can be completed in 2 or 3 days. So I think this would be the best investment. If at all they ask any question, you should be able to attempt it correctly. If they do not ask, or if they ask a very difficult question, in that case, please leave the question. So I think that's it. Thank you so much.